at the same time, it's just like, you know,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that we need to look into. So, I mean, that's definitely, definitely that's something that we're going to look into down the road, definitely. This is First and Framerates episode 59. We're just off air talking about an upcoming episode for episode 60. We're not going to necessarily get into that now because we have someone that's going to be adding to that conversation. But right now it's episode 59. Right now it's just me and DJ. I just got finished talking to Bills. He's going to be here shortly.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I just got finished talking to him. He's going to be here shortly.
Okay.
But for the most part, we're here, and we have a good bit of topics, and it's going to be somewhat little all over the place, but it's still going to kind of intertwine with what we normally talk about. We're going to talk about people who rage quit games, and on top of that, people who continuously play the same games that they rage quit on. We're going to talk about the effect, the means of sliders, why they're needed and why they should not be needed, and what gamers could do not to rage quit. So that's kind of go hand in hand. Google is supposed to come out with this controller
streaming box.
It's not even a box. It's a streaming controller.
Yeah,
and you just use the controller to stream like ridiculous. As of right now, it sounds like ridiculous type of resolutions and frame rates. I don't see that happening.
I'm not thrilled about it at all.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the controller is comfortable, but I don't think it. As far as a product, I have no interest in it.
Screw that controller. I'm just saying the whole idea. Like,
my thing is, if I can get the controller and use it for another console, I'll probably be willing to pay like $15 for it. I mean, I like the controller. The controller don't look bad at all. I think it'll be a real comfortable controller to use. But I'm not using it for their streaming services.
I wonder what the price point of their streaming service is going to be.
Yeah. So I mean, we're going to talk about that and Maximum Football. I think we're going to really dwell into Maximum Football because we've been, it's mostly DJ, just been on the cusp.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, he's been on the cusp of like wanting to talk about it, and it's long overdue because these guys have been putting major work in their game. Despite what you may or most people may think about a AAA football title, you definitely have to give these guys props for actually putting things in a game that other companies just refuse to not to do. And I think it's something that is worth talking about. If you want to check us out and you're not able to catch us live, or you're catching this on YouTube after we go live, you can also check us out where you can basically download the podcast on your iTunes or SoundCloud. The links is down in the description, or you can find the links on my Twitter, which is VF Baller. Bills, he just walked in. That's cool.
Yeah, I just saw. Yeah, he just walked in like he just saw him physically walk in the room.
I know, right?
Okay, I see how that works.
DJ is on Twitter at DJ81. Bills is at Bills4th. DJ, how's your week been? How's everything going?
Well, the week has been good. The last 2 days on Twitter have been kind of lit.
I saw that.
So that's actually been putting me through for the last, and plus the Division 2. Another lit game, doing looter shooters proud.
Oh, so, we're going to talk about that too. I just didn't have enough room to put in the title, but we're definitely going to talk about that too because I need your insight because I'm still on the fence of getting that game.
Yeah, and also quick promotion for my clan, the NWO Stars. We are, if you pledge the NWO Stars, just let you know it's for life.
Now that alone make me want to get the game down. I mean, because I got Uplay on my PC, and I can't stand it. I got 5 people already in. So okay, because I got it. I was thinking about getting it on PC, but me and Uplay don't get along. I don't like it, so I'll probably end up getting it on PS4, and I'm gonna have to join and try to level up with you guys. I'm gonna be far behind, but hell, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. Bills, what's going on with you, man?
Yo, sorry I was late. I just woke up from a nap.
I'm about to say, you sound like you got laid.
I was about to say the same thing, yo.
Because your voice was too relaxed to seem like you just woke up.
Nah, I literally just woke up. VF called me and was like, yo, what's up? I was like, Bro, I just woke up.
Yeah, because usually when I put the link in, and then you usually like be the first one to respond. I was like,
no, I set my alarm for 6:45, and I woke up and I was just like, I don't feel like getting up. So then, like 5 minutes later, I ended up getting up, and I sounded tired as shit. But I mean, I got up at 6:30 this morning to work out, so I've been up ever since then. So I've been tired.
So you've been rehabbing that knee?
Ankle, yeah. So
that's a reference to somebody else.
Here we go.
Wow. Went to go work out.
See, I tried to take the high road. You know, I tried to switch it up. Like, no, it's my ankle, but you just had to.
Well, you got to. Hey, nowadays you got low-key got to be an OG to understand that one. That was a while back.
Yeah, that's in the X-Files.
Yeah, that's
Some community would say the irrelevant files.
It's definitely you're right about the relevant part. You're right about that. But no, we're going to start off on this podcast. I know Bill's wanted to really touch on this, and the first two topics in the description pretty much go hand in hand. And I know Bill's really wanted to dwell in on sliders and how people choose to play their games and what they can do to help play their games. And I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter just getting mad at the same game that they bought back in September, and they're just going in. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Why are you still getting mad at these games when you have other ways to play them, or you have other ways to enhance your experience? So I'm gonna let you take the wheel on that aspect of it, and I'll come back behind that with the rage quitting part.
Well, I mean, let's touch on the rage quitting part first, because the rage quitting part, a lot of times these days, happens because the person's not happy with how the game is playing or how a certain play turns out as a result of the settings that they're playing on, whether it's online, which they can't control, or, just in general, a game that's not really operating the way they want it to, since they're playing my team, wink, wink.
Yeah, all right.
So, I mean, what were you going to say, DJ?
I was going to say, before we get into that, some sad news. Madden Freestyle's wife passed away.
Yeah. Today. Oh, yeah.
Condolences to Madden Freestyle. I just saw it on Twitter. I know he posted like 18 minutes ago, but
I'm not going to even look at that, because I can't imagine me as a married man. I don't even want to just think about something like that, because I know he posted earlier about the status of his wife, and he was like distraught about it. And I was like, what can you say about something like that? I mean, condolences, thoughts, and prayers. I mean, it's nothing. I see, you guys aren't married. Y'all may not. Y'all understand losing a loved one, obviously, but when you commit your life to be with somebody and you spent time with that person, that's a tough pill to swallow. Somebody gonna have to really watch after him for the next few, at least a year or so. That's tough. That's really tough.
So and her name's listed on here. Rest in peace, Angela, dude. So
yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. I'll send my condolences out to him, but I know as of right now that's a lot to swallow. It's not much I can say, But back to what you were saying, Bill's, about rage quitting.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people rage quit as a result of not being happy with the game. I mean, obviously there's some people who just get their ass kicked in the game and then they get bitter and they want to rage quit like that. But most days it happens as a result of Madden not playing the way somebody would want it to play. They think it doesn't play in a simulation style. A lot of times those people are the ones who say, I don't touch sliders. That's cheating. Well,
it's really not, but okay.
It's not, because
they put it in the game for you.
Yeah, right, and the devs use it, and the devs use it to gauge whether they need to lead the game at these stock settings versus what they put in there anyway. So
or at least try to use them for what they can do next year.
Not only that, but that's like saying, well, I don't touch the difficulty setting. That's cheating. Well, the game comes on pro, so.
And and the thing is, the only way, and I know me and DJ used to do this on Madden 25, the only time pro stock works is when you literally have to follow the game plan to a T. I mean, because it's so easy to exploit the game by using your own plays or whatever. I mean, that's what part of Madden as well. I mean, you can use your own playbooks or whatever. But if you use your team and use your playbooks, and that's the only way pro will work. But if you're just trying to win based on your own football ideology, you're going to want to put the difficulty up.
Well, that's the thing. On lower levels, the gameplay is more so fundamentally based according to the principles of how the sport should be played in real life. The issue is a lot of times that doesn't account for the AI making adjustments that would hinder you from basically dominating the AI.
I can agree with that.
Which is kind of where, that's kind of where the slider part comes in. I mean, 2K, you play All-Star on 2K without sliders, you're going to get a really fair, and we were talking about this on Twitter, you get a really fair game of basketball, a really balanced game of basketball. But the thing is when it comes down to the computer adjusting to what you're doing or, showing you a different wrinkle on offense, they're not going to do that.
Right.
And that's where the sliders come in, because the sliders unlock a lot of organic things that happen in the game. And every game has different setups for how the sliders work and what the sliders mean. I encourage people to look into what these sliders mean in each individual game that you play, because you'll really find that adjusting a slider here and there will make the experience, very different and very organic. And especially if you're not enjoying the game. But even if you are enjoying the game, but you think it could be a little bit more organic or free-flowing or whatever it may be, just kind of tinker with the sliders and figure out what they mean. It'll prevent a lot of people from putting down games so quickly, especially Madden. This year, you couldn't really help it. But in past years, it would prevent you from putting the game down so quick.
I agree. What's up, Chris Thomas? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, my thing is, a lot of people. I mean, let's do something else. Let's be honest. Some people rage quit games because they're low key just terrible at the game.
Yes.
I mean, there's one person that I don't even know. He doesn't even follow me no more, and I know he probably blocked y'all because we made fun of him. Dude, constantly.
Nah, he hasn't blocked me.
I think he blocked me and unblocked me.
Oh, okay, because he doesn't follow us anymore.
Actually, I think he still has. He has me blocked.
Yeah, he doesn't follow us anymore. He's just not good at games, and we made fun of him because, dog, you've been playing games for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You've been playing Madden for so long. How could you constantly continue to lose to the computer?
And that's when they start taking their frustration out on the devs. But the devs put those sliders in there. Now, granted, Madden sliders don't exactly operate the way sliders should, I guess you could say. A lot of them are reversed, honestly, in some ways. I mean, the reaction times, come on, the zero theory.
Yeah, I mean, that's all trial and error. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what a community should be for. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. I mean, we used to look up to people like Charter and Versus and I remember Gerard 21 and Authentic Sliders, the guy named Authentic, all of them was on OS Sports. I used to look up to those guys when, things just wasn't going right in my NCAA games. But now, like with us, I mean, I know you do sliders. You got Neo who does sliders. The Sim Standard does sliders. It's like it's too many avenues out here to necessarily say, you know what? I already know Madden's on that bullshit because of how they built their game. I know how the devs do with patches. But that still shouldn't be able to stop me from just having an enjoyable experience. It's too many people in this community to not have one. So that's my thing about the rage quitting part. Like, why are you still getting mad when you can get an authentic or close to authentic experience with all this help around you?
Well, here's the other thing. Then folks say, well, we shouldn't have to use sliders. No. Don't use that excuse. Sliders can be used in every sports game, period. Now, some games it's mandatory if you want a good game, if you want the game to play functionally and, simulation based. Yeah. Some games need it. Other games the sliders accentuate some of the things that you wouldn't usually see. They bring out different animations that you might usually not see. They make the computer a bit more, dynamic when you're playing them, and every game might seem different. I mean, to say that you shouldn't have to just because you expect the devs to put out a game that is somehow tailor-made for every single person, it's impossible.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I mean, you got to think about it. What do you think this game is catered to at the end of the day? It's not catered to some people. I'm not even just talking about Madden. 2K does a phenomenal job. Don't get us wrong. But 2K default, they have regular sliders that you have to go into the settings and change it to at least simulation.
And they have a lot too. They have a lot of sliders. They have a ton.
I mean, if it's on default, it's on default. That's for everybody who picks up and want to play a basketball game.
Yeah.
Simulate. I mean, and that goes back to what we talked about back in a few episodes ago about who are they actually catering to and why all this money is being generated because of that. Yeah. It ain't because of us. So with it being said, it's like, why not use what the tools that you have? I mean, in no way I'm like sitting here white knighting for any company, but it's like if you're going to play these games, don't put yourself in a position to be frustrated. Those days are over.
And here's this: don't hang out on Twitter all day bitching about a game. And people that you follow, like me and DJ, for example, when we talked about the 0 theory or even the 3 theory, putting the reaction time and coverage down to 3, don't sit and bitch all day and you see us posting that and you don't even attempt it. Because you just want to be outraged.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying it and it doesn't work for you, I get it. Yeah. You know, I get it hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, but damn it, Pooh, I gotta send them damn rosters to you. But if you want to start a dynasty in 08, I'll get back to you on that. But I need to see you those rosters. But yeah, why would you put yourself in a situation to be frustrated? DJ, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I think it's gaming suicide to really just play a game that you're constantly frustrated with. And then even to go as far as even continuing to make videos on said problem issue that you're having with the game, it kind of like leads into people rage quitting because it's like it is the definition of insanity, figuratively speaking.
I mean,
and it is really one of those things. It's just like, I think overall the love of the sport that they're trying to play overrides their better judgment.
I think it's a lot of influence, and you know, don't get me wrong, we all looked up to, you know, certain YouTubers making these type of videos, and it's not to knock them, but time has passed and we understand what we see now. And when you see somebody make a video saying something wrong with a certain game, like say with Madden or 2K, or in some cases some people actually use 2K football to say what's going on and saying what's wrong with the game. When you use those, somebody can go and pull that game up and it's already burned into their mind like, damn, such and such just made this video and I just seen the same thing. Damn, I'm like him. I don't like the game no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely creates a perception that's, you know, it's not always reality.
It's unwarranted.
And when you create these videos, like for example, when we create videos talking about the 0 theory, then dudes say, well, why should I have to use sliders? Well, they're the devs. Yeah, but you spent $60. Are we gonna sit and bitch about it?
But see, that's my thing. When I was on my old channel, I used to make these videos about how bad Madden was, and I got to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm doing these videos, and people are waiting to see the car crash, and I'm looking for the car crash. I'm trying to create the car crash, and it's like, this is not how I was back in 08, 09. I actually played the games, and if it was some bullshit, I just put it down, or I just dealt with it and played something else.
But this is what they literally do. This is pretty much the perfect metaphor for what they do. They spill milk on the counter and bitch when it starts rolling on the floor. Look at the milk. Look at the milk. It's falling on the floor now.
You know, and I mean, that's the thing, like, about, bro. That's what I'm thinking when we talk about sliders, is like, I think time has come. Like, we talked about the future of Madden or whatever. Like, right now, we're not even thinking about Madden 20 because we know the next consoles are coming up. We know exactly, for the most part, the format we're getting with Madden. Madden's going to be good for at least the first 3 weeks. Something's going to happen. We're going to have to fix the game ourselves, and it's up to us if we want to play it or not. That's basically what's going to happen. And so, I mean, there's nothing to get hype over. There's nothing to even trip on anymore. It is what it is. So
Right.
my thing is like, why would we put ourselves through that unless we just want to try to enhance that experience for a little bit longer? I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I just like I got into sliders. I think I would say somewhere around Madden 12. I really started paying attention to sliders and what they do to a game because I started watching Versus. And Versus would try to make the gameplay in a logical manner and try to have each animation that triggers, makes sense.
Yeah, he was on that,
yeah.
and he was big on foot planting. He was
he was. So the thing is, as Madden started to implement a lot of these things that weren't in the game at that time, it became easier to make sliders until they put those patches out year after year. I can't think of a game now that I enjoy without playing on sliders. And that's just me. But I kind of look for a different brand of basketball, a different brand of football. I want a really dynamic brand of those sports, and even NHL. I mean, me and DJ have talked about sliders at length on NHL. FIFA, every update pretty much changes the setup of those sliders, which kind of sucks. But FIFA's still a great game. You can play those games on default, but you're not getting the full experience, in my opinion, if you play them on default. Of course, people don't have the time to make sliders like that. So it's just,
but that's the thing, though. They don't have time, but that's why I go back to say there's so many other people in the community to do it. You know, it's like, why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't touched Madden 19 since like December.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sliders and all. It's just the problem with that is just the patches. Yep. I don't feel like changing up sliders all the time because of the patches come out. I mean, Neo has been doing.
Yeah, I was about to bring him up. Yeah,
he's been doing it all year. It's like he's been updating his sliders for patch. Like, why should we have to do that? Yeah, it is. That's the problem I really have with Madden.
The game shouldn't change so drastically every patch that you basically have to play a game on default and figure out exactly where to put your sliders back.
Right.
And then even on top of that, you look on PC with Madden, it screwed up a whole mod.
Yeah,
that was specifically designed to improve the gameplay. So
right. I mean, the entire Nectar mod is like is unusable at this point. It's unplayable. It won't. In some cases, with the latest patches, the game won't even boot up now.
It's crazy.
So it's like we have to come to, if anything, especially next generation. There's no excuse. They need to at least let us have a point to where we have a tuner where we can leave it where it is, while everybody else can go on with the patch, whatever they have. We should be able to go back to play it the way we wanted to.
Another thing, God, why do you have the same sliders that you've had since the Xbox 360 days?
Yeah,
they haven't
the same format. Anything. Yeah, the same format. Yeah, I agree.
Like they haven't added any. If you go back to NFL 2K5, those sliders are even better.
Yeah, because they got a little bit of everything.
As they are, they're still better.
Yeah, because they got like almost 40 or 50 different things you can change. I didn't count them, but there's a lot of shit you can change in 2K5.
And that's the thing. I mean, but the thing is, we're dealing with a company, we're dealing with a development team that can't even tell us what a certain rating means.
I was about to say the same thing.
They can't tell us what a slider means. We went to them with the zero theory and said, please confirm or deny this. You know what they did? They put out a patch that fucked it up.
Right.
They ignored us saying confirm or deny that this works and just put out a patch. And the next time you played the game, the zero theory didn't work anymore.
B5 just asked, what's my biggest issue with Madden 19? Like I said, it's just the constant updates that makes the game unplayable. I mean, it gets to a point where you play the game for a few weeks, then an update comes in and what was working just stops. And when that one thing stops working, it throws everything else off. Yeah, I think this basically been an issue with Madden for years.
It has.
I mean, once RPM was going out of Madden 19, it's like nothing else really mattered because now the running game's gone. That means the reaction to the tackling isn't right. I mean, reaction to the running back isn't right.
I would say pretty much since Madden 15, every year they've broken what they've implemented. Madden 15, you had the new passing arcs. They got rid of that in a patch. Madden 16, all of a sudden you went from spectacular catch from everybody to you can't catch any of them, and you get sucked into an animation where you get picked off.
And 16 and 17 had a problem with warping in the tackles just came back all of a sudden.
Madden 17, they nerfed the tackling after a certain patch, and that was ruined. Madden 18, what was Madden 18's big feature?
No, Madden 18 biggest feature was frostbite and that passing mechanism they had.
And the passing mechanism, which they basically didn't even really capitalize on.
I don't think they implemented that correctly. I think they did that. They did that wrong. They could have did it better.
Yeah, what was the thing with it was target passing, but you couldn't move your quarterback. He had to be standing still. Like that's dumb.
I mean, it's like they literally could have just stole from Fever and that would have been okay. People would have been pissed off, but they would have been fine.
And then we get to Madden 19 and they say, well, we're just gonna take RPM out.
Honestly, they could have just put the vision cone back in.
Exactly. What's wrong with the vision cone?
They should have just gone with what they
the vision cone should have never been taken out as an option.
Well,
don't make it mandatory.
That was the first sign of casuals bitching in Madden that I can remember.
B5, an example of what?
I think you wanted an example of our. Hey, I mean, just go play Madden now. Just fire it up and try to run the ball.
B5 ain't trying to play Madden.
Honestly, B5, you want an example? Go to what's going on, Pete?
What's up, Pete?
What's up, Pete?
Go to practice mode, offense only. Hand the ball off to your running back and just make cuts.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Shoot, NY Kid just put out a video where he was covering 3 routes in like 3 seconds, and with RPM absent, you pretty much could do that now.
Wow.
When that wasn't the case at launch.
Yeah, he did do that.
But see, Matt, here's the thing. They can't separate MUT gameplay from the other modes because MUT gameplay, or I should say not even MUT gameplay. MUT is their cash cow, and the gameplay is basically
it's based off of
the gameplay is on one accord.
Yeah.
All they can do is tailor make each mode, whether it's casual or arcade or competitive, whatever. All they can do is make certain things more prevalent than others. They can't change gameplay mechanics from mode to mode. It doesn't seem like.
But
so
I think
stuck with that.
I think at this point, I think with Madden, I think it's the core gameplay is based off of MUT.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the core gameplay is based off of MUT, and everything else on the outside is like you play Sim or you play this or whatever the case may be.
That's the thing. If you go to play Madden right now and you play on simulation, then you go and you play on casual, the only difference you're going to see is how often certain animations trigger. And you're going to see how often, for example, you'll see that there's no stamina on arcade mode. But as far as the game playing completely different, like gameplay mechanics, you're not going to get that because the core fundamentals of the game are just broken.
That Pete said it. Why realistic movement is negotiation.
It shouldn't be.
It should never be a negotiation.
It shouldn't be.
It should never be. I think specifically with EA Tiburon, it's just because it's really just focused on EA Tiburon because EA Canada, they're not negotiating movement. NHL definitely, RPM has been in that. Definitely with FIFA. I don't know. It's just that specific studio. It's like the arcade studio now.
Imagine baking a cake, and you're baking a cake for different people, but because one person doesn't like it, nobody gets cake. You got to make a whole new cake.
Pretty much. That sounds legit.
This cake got to be without frosting because these people don't like frosting, and it makes no sense.
Chris Thomas asks us a good question. He's like, what would you consider Madden Sim? I will say this:
no,
Madden has
now.
Animations in game that will blow your mind. The problem is why I don't consider it a sim because those animations don't trigger correctly. You have some instances where you you will see them at launch, then you don't see the animations anymore, or you'll see the animations again once you use sliders. But as a full football simulation, I think you're playing a game that's a football competitive style football game.
This is how I can sum this up. Madden, until Madden gets on the level of every other sports game essentially out that simulates how to beat a team based on personnel and the skill level of your players.
But that's the thing, Bills. It's there. NYK has made videos countless times, not even with Madden 19. Yeah, he's done it with Madden, earlier Maddens. It's there. It's just there.
Yeah, it's there. But it's there for one side. The computer doesn't do it.
But see, that's the thing.
You do it.
But see, that's the thing. It's like it's there, but the problem is, like I said, that's why I don't consider it a sim, because it's either hidden behind code where you have to do certain things to make it trigger, or do sliders.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Every other game, with or without sliders, the computer makes a concerted effort to adjust to what you're doing, and they use the players according to their skill level. Not even their overall rating, but literally their skill level as it pertains to the overall game plan of the team. Madden has yet to do that. For example, there's no team that runs hurry up in Madden. There's no team that runs no huddle in Madden. There's no team that's going to give a different run-pass balance when you look at how many times they pass the ball versus run the ball. You're not going to see a drastic difference. If you turn on 2K, you'll see teams that play fast and teams that play slow.
Now that is true, because I noticed. When you play your Dynasty mode in 2K, every night is a different game.
Yeah, I will agree with
that.
Madden, you'll get the same game, different players.
Kia said on Madden simulation, your receivers will not catch the ball. You talk about Hopkins, Browns, Evan Diggs always get traded in online leagues. Mm-hmm. He also said in competition, they catch the ball in double coverage. Now, see, that's some BS right there.
Yeah.
Now, I agree. I mean, I can see where that right there, where people would rage quit. I understand that. But when we talk about the rage quitting stuff, it's like when people literally will play like offline by themselves and they can't beat the CPU. I think that's highly unnecessary. I don't care if you're playing my team, my league, MUT. I think that's some BS. You should be able to cater it to play the way you want to play.
Well, here's another reason that Madden's not sim, because the movement of the players in the game isn't the most important thing. And in every other game, it is.
Well, I mean, that's another thing Madden just hasn't been able to do.
Yeah. I mean, like, think about why they have a speed parity. I think it was Hollywood. Hollywood asked, why does Madden still have a speed parity rating? And I said, to account for the fact that Madden does not have proper positioning and movement in the game. Period. Yeah. That's why there's a speed parity rating. That's why.
So what y'all think going forward before we jump to? I'm going to go skip over Google. I want to talk about Maximum Football. Mm-hmm. But what do y'all guys think? Like, honestly, the final solution with people who have these issues with these games. DJ, you can go first.
I'll let DJ go first.
Now we're talking about just like the sliders, rage quitting.
Yeah,
all that.
And we're not just talking. We're not just talking about Madden. We're just talking about in
general, any game.
Yeah, any game. Yeah.
The one thing that people fail to use, and that's patience. I think patience and also experimentation with different aspects, like changing along with the game itself, adapting to the game, and just improving upon a person's own skills is the main thing that a lot of people, they think they can just go in and do the same thing every single time. Or in Madden's case, they think they can do things that happen in real life. They try to bring it into the game, and then it doesn't happen that exact way. I think people need to be honest with themselves. They're going back to their own skill level. I think some people think they're good and they're not. And it's just, I don't know. You gotta try something. You have to do something different. You can't always do the same thing every single time and think you're gonna get the result that you're supposed to get. So, and I put it out there. I put it out there a few years ago that about like as far as like with the gameplay, the AI, having adaptive AI. I'm spoiled with games like 2K, with NBA 2K, with NHL, with FIFA, having AI that adapts to your gameplay. So you have to switch it up every single time. And it's just like, I think people are not ready for it.
I mean, that's what we were talking about I was just mentioning in 2K. Like in like NBA 2K, like every game just seems like a different game. You have the game playing differently if you play against the Wizards or you turn around and play against Phoenix. I mean, hell, even in some cases, NBA Live does that. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think a lot of people are saying like Pete says, AIM players are the ones who are having to adapt to nonsense.
The comp players have to adjust to that too, because it's not even for them anymore.
Yeah. Chris said,
yeah, but like I said, they got to sleep in the bed they made, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way, we all kind of made that bed, because remember, we were also wanting separation of modes, and it seems like it hasn't worked. We all have a responsibility for this.
Yeah, I think on the surface, they put it in, but you can really tell like some modes rear their head in other modes.
We want a separation of modes, but we didn't want it at the sacrifice of basically being pushed to the side and saying, well, this isn't your game.
The company we were dealing with when we said all this.
Of course we did.
So
but the blame has to go on them for the implementation. We didn't. We asked for it on a base level. We didn't ask for us to be left out in the cold. So I think the implementation has to be blamed more so than us asking for something that would clearly benefit.
Oh no, I'm not talking about like percentage of the blame, but I'm just saying we also have to accept some responsibility as well, because we did ask for it.
Yeah, I think with the next generation, I think that this format of football gaming, regardless if it's just Madden or anybody else or somebody else decide to step in, this format is not sustainable. That EA is going to have to come up with a new format for next generation, because they basically what they basically did was bring what they did in 360 and PS3. They brought that into this generation, and it's the same format.
Okay, and I gotta agree with C-Mad. He says Madden's ANT engine holds a lot of reasons why things are the way they are.
Oh, well, we know that. I agree.
That is absolutely. I agree with that.
Kia said it hasn't worked. It made issues in the game worse, rather than having a game that plays sensibly at base level. It's all over the place. Yeah, I mean, when we ask for different modes, I agree with that. I think that's what it did make things worse than better.
You know what, Kia? And here's the thing. This is the last thing I'll say about this. As a company, don't come out and say you're making a simulation game and then try to tailor it to everybody. If you're making a simulation game, you're making a simulation game. The people who don't like it can gladly find another football game to play. Play Joe Montana football on your fucking S8. Play Axis football. You say you're making a simulation football game.
Man said play Madden on Montana on the S8. I just caught that. You said that so fast.
Because it's like, I don't like how they say they're making a simulation game. That's what they're in the business of doing. They said it out of their own mouth. Nobody put words in their mouth. That's what they said. So if they're making a simulation game, if that's what they do, then that's what they should be focused on. And comp players and arcade players need to fit in, period.
Well, competition players should be playing sim anyway, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They should have to fit in. We shouldn't be the ones left out in the cold when y'all say, oh, we're making a simulation game. No, you're not. That's just pandering.
Pete said some players don't complain about realism playing NFL Street.
Hey, you know what's crazy though?
He's right though.
Yeah, you know what's
wait,
crazy?
Man, ain't nobody running off the wall. What are you talking about?
Hey, but here's what's crazy though. Some players will play NFL Street just as sim as they will play Madden, and they probably would just be happier with NFL Street.
But the thing about it, we did try to play NFL Street straight up. Yeah. But we knew what it was about. Just like NBA, like NBA Street. Everybody pretty much played NBA Street like somewhat of the rules of basketball. But we knew what time it was when it was time to dunk or whatever. We knew what it was.
Yeah.
I'll leave Madden with this analogy. I believe that Madden 19 this year was the Trojan horse gameplay wise. I'm like, you saw it, you saw RPM, you saw all this great stuff, and then when everything leaked out, same shit. So.
You know what, Kia, and that's very true. But here's the thing: on 2K, me and VF went without 100 or 99 rated players, played realistic.
Oh, we did, yeah, we did good. Like that first month of 2K16, like we played straight up and was whooping dudes.
So honestly, I can't even knock Park.
But I mean, still with the Park, we know what it is. Like,
of course, we know, yeah, demigods and
I mean, they
just got people that are bad at basketball playing in there. No wonder they're bitching and complaining.
Well, that's true.
But that's another thing that I'll leave Madden with. Look, you know what you're getting into when you're playing online. You're playing with other humans. You think they're gonna play straight up just because? No, they want that dub. Yeah. So if the game plays like online, then they're gonna exploit that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Now let's jump to another game that that's actually doing some big things, and I'm gonna jump over to
and not
DJ.
Just taking people's money.
Oh my!
We're not gonna talk about that yet. You stop. You
said you wanted to tease it, so there you go. I teased it.
Starts with an I, ends with a Eden. No, let me stop.
Oh, starts with an I and it ends with empty pocket. Anyway, DJ, you've been chomping at the bit when you wanted to talk about this Doug Flutie Maximum Football, and let everybody know who probably hasn't been following this. Let them know what's going on with this game and what does it mean for college football in general.
You're gonna have a game to play this fall, guys. You're gonna have a college. I don't know what type of college experience they're gonna be able to execute, but what they're setting up for is pretty much what I know one person was asking for when I guess they wanted to quote on Twitter an EA tweet from 2016. Oh, just make them all fully customizable and get in and do that. Well, that's what Doug Flutie Maximum Football is about to do. They're definitely, it's still, the game itself is still going to be a mix of like pro, college, whatever. But, you basically have two college type modes that are going to be in this game. You got, American college with 130 something colleges that customizable fictional.
I think it's like up to 137. I think it's like up to 137 colleges. They're like,
and I can confirm that the picture of those footballs alone is more than IMV Gaming has given anybody.
Yep. That was in response to what was it? What was the one person that was badgering Doug Flutie about the footballs? It was like, oh, the pro game it doesn't have stripes. I was like,
it's a goddamn. Oh my god!
I was laughing at it, but I was like, I used my patience. I didn't intervene, and they responded back. It was like, you got to have balls to play this game.
But DJ, if you look at the screen, if you look at the screenshot, there are 4 different footballs on there, and one don't have stripes. Jesus Christ! Do people know how to look? Wow.
People see what they want to see and hear what they want to hear. That's why,
that picture. I think that picture they put out that picture. I think that was part of their marketing, and they put out that picture after dude was chastising them about the fact that because of the type of football they were using in Wilson, and he was just caught up on the stripes. It was like, that football has a stripe on it. The pro game doesn't have stripes on it.
How about an applause because of the fact that they got the Wilson license in the game?
Yes.
They got Wilson. They got Phil Steele. If y'all don't know, if you haven't grown up watching or looking at football magazines, Phil Steele was that guy. And they had a great magazine where they're talking about all the recruits, the depth chart of just about every team. They got that in the game. I think this game could go far if a lot of people just decide to say, you know what, we're going to support them. I mean, people done that with Axis. You see what happened with them. But now with this one, they're actually giving you the format to not only just play football, you can play CFL, you can play NCAA, and you can play pro. No, it's not going to be on the level of a Madden or whatever, but you never know where this may take off if that's the case.
Hey, I'll tell you what they're not going to do. The same game that you get whenever it comes out is going to be the same game basically that you get along the way. They're only going to improve it. They're not going to nerf anything.
I hope not. I hope not.
And it doesn't. I mean, we've already kind of seen it with their cycle. The first time around, they're only looking for simulation feedback and feedback that'll make the game better. They're not going to break their main game to kind of reinvent the wheel of their own game.
All right. I think it's really good to have this avenue. Somebody's actually doing something. Access did their thing. Maximum is doing theirs. We're not going to talk about the other ones.
Somebody's just collecting a check. In other words,
somebody that ain't even collecting the check. They're basically copy and pasting another NCAA game.
They need to stop. They need to stop.
We haven't heard from that person in a while.
Hey, look,
after I made that video, he got ghosts.
Hey, I ain't gonna name no names, but they need to stop hanging out with Minister Farrakhan selling beam pies on the corner.
You know what?
Taking people's money to make more beam pies and trying to sell a Final Call newspaper and shit. Well, let me stop.
Bill, what are your thoughts about this? What they're doing?
Bro, I'm excited, man. I mean, they've made a lot of strides since the release of their game. It was an accomplishment getting on consoles as it was, and now they're making a lot of strides as far as, like I said, Wilson is actually a big time license to get for a game that's just starting out. I mean, that's like
not only that, the fact they got Doug Flutie's name as well. That's another big one.
Doug Flutie's name is big time
because that's something that we've talked about back in the past. Like if somebody wants to make a fully customizable game, they would like to get some type of football icon on the cover of their game or their name behind it. Right. So I think this is that right there alone to get more eyes on it. Because like, hold up, Doug Flutie. And people will be like, okay, it'll garner a little bit more interest. So that's big as well.
And granted, it is a screenshot, but if that's any indication of what the game's going to look like, those footballs, they look much better than anything in, Maximum Football originally. The graphics are definitely taking, they're definitely seeing some improvement from what I can see. I mean, did they give a release date or?
No, they didn't give one yet, but there's a screen share of the footballs if y'all can see them. That's it right there. So they look pretty good for an indie game.
They're really good.
That looks pretty good.
Like I said, that looks better than most things that they had in the game last year. Grass looks pretty,
Grass don't look bad. We don't want to get into we don't want to get into Joe Montana football territory.
All right, Stevie Matt is saying that the people making Maximum Football said September 19th.
Okay,
this year. Okay,
yeah, this year.
Interesting release date.
That's a little bit right behind Madden.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Hopefully, Madden doesn't choose this year to finally give us a franchise move.
I mean, that's another story. That's another story for another day.
Yeah, I don't even want to address the rumors that SGO had in their video because
I don't even want to talk. I'm gonna be honest. I have no interest in talking about Madden 20. I just don't. Yeah. It's not that I don't like the game.
Just like our video.
Right,
man. Look, Gavin.
Here's the thing. I saw it and I just ignored it because obviously it was probably one of the people that was that in the past had a big figure as a part of the game, and that person now is probably in some bar getting drunk.
Look. All right, it's not my fault that y'all's car crashed on the damn speedway, and that was pretty much a metamorphosis of exactly what was going to happen to y'all's goddamn game, pretty much the indication of exactly what was going to happen to Damon Grohl himself.
Okay. But
Bill, come on.
Metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis.
You mean antithesis?
Oh, wait, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Dollar said that it's sad that it's not on PC. I get it, but it's like
it'll be on PS4 this year.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm gonna be honest. Do we really? I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but I mean the fact that Maximum is pretty much where we're at now with all of the things that it has. as far as modes in the college and all the in the CFL and the NCAA or not NFL, do we really need the only thing we need is a legit customization. That's it.
And franchise mode.
Well, they already said they put that out. So,
well, I mean,
the funny thing about it. Hold on. But the funny thing about it is that what they're saying, what they're going to put in their dynasty mode for their college, they're going to include a lot of stuff that EA had in their past game with like the way with one with recruiting and two adding in stuff like player punishments and stuff like that.
Stop it! You lying? I got to see that.
Go check out their feed. That was one of the things that I don't know how it's going to all work out, but I saw that I was just like, okay, cool.
I'm not gonna lie. If they put suspensions in for college play, that will be awesome.
I got a question for y'all. Now that you bring that up,
because people don't realize how legendary that was and how well you had to strategize when one of your linemen was like suspended for 3 games.
I got a question.
Yeah, because wait a minute before you ask that question, because just to add on, because one of the things I remember EA had was the fact that either you suspended your player or the NCAA would come down on the player.
No, they won't come down on the player. No, they won't come down on the player. They will come down on your school, and you'll lose like scholarships and sanctions. You have sanctions.
Okay, that was the consequence if you didn't punish your player, and it was stuff like being late for a class, failed exam. I wonder if they also would include consequences like players ruled ineligible and stuff like that.
So here's my question for you guys, and anybody in the chat, you can feel free to answer this as well. Why do you guys think that pro sports games don't have this? Like as far as punishments, suspensions, why do you think these sports games haven't implemented that?
I think the company who they're licensed the game to don't want it in. I can promise you right now, I don't think NFL wants it in their Madden game.
Well,
I can see the NFL, yeah.
Like I look at 2K, they don't have it like actively in the game, but one of the injury things you can put in there. And one thing I experimented with was that I downloaded a randomizer. And what I did was I randomized when somebody would be suspended in the game, and with my league being able to create it, give me the tools to change whatever I want at any point in the season, because if 30 teams in the NBA, so I would pick one set of numbers, 1 through 30. I pick another set, 1 through 15, because of what players on each roster. I would pick those 2 sets, and whatever popped up, that player was suspended. And then I would pick another random number based on whether it was like I'll put it on 2 levels, like 1 through 10, 11 through whatever. And then even to the point where it could be a full season suspension.
He's crazy.
And I would randomize that number too. So 2K does have that in the game. They just don't actively do it.
Well, see, and I get that they don't want it. I guess I can see that they don't want it. But
B5 said it promotes bad conduct.
But see, here's the thing, B5. It doesn't, because it's all about how you implement it. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? Now, you don't have to suspend a guy for a DUI in NBA 2K. All right? You don't have to do that. Just come up with some BS like he missed a practice, or maybe he's doing things that are conduct detrimental to the team, or maybe you can add technical fouls to the game, which I don't know why they don't have those that will trigger. I still don't get why that's not in the game.
You know what? They don't have technical foul, but the close thing we got on it is flagrants. We do have flagrants.
They need technical fouls because 2K is really close to being so realistic that there's really pretty much they're gonna have to start digging for things to implement. But the one thing that they need to implement to me is player and coach personality as it pertains to the referees. It's not, you don't even have to have a guy running to attack the referee, but you can have him saying something and the referee says, "Look, I'm getting tired of you complaining," and he calls technical foul.
That right there will get people pissed. I'm with you on it.
It'll get them pissed, but here's the thing. You got to decide what team you're going to pick. Hey, it'll be no different than a guy committing a flagrant foul and you weren't controlling him.
The closest thing we got to that is like an MLB The Show. You got certain refs or certain umpires that won't
you can get ejected,
Yeah, you got certain that won't call ball or strikes. Like certain
But that's the one game you can get ejected, I believe, is MLB The Show.
Yeah.
You can get ejected for arguing with. Well, they might have taken it out, but I know one time you could get ejected for arguing with the umpire.
All right, before we switch this up, we're gonna switch this up real quick. Somebody just sent me something on Twitter. I want to put this on the screen so everybody can see it. Because DJ, this is something you was talking about what they have as far as the discipline and stuff like that. Shout out to J Miles. J Miles need to be coming in on the podcast. I mean, he's been invited a while back.
He probably the one that disliked the video.
He's been invited a while back, but you know, the door's always open, J Miles. You always been good people, even though you a Saints fan, I'm a Falcons fan. You still my boy. Here's the
both teams in the South.
Shut up. All right, this one
both teams ahead in South too.
Maximum Football Development Dev Update. Oh, hush. Oh, crazy.
All right, here we go.
First of all, why J Miles' phone about to die? I hope he's not listening to us on his phone because he ain't gonna listen to us too much longer.
Maybe you should stop using Boost mobile phones. I don't know.
Oh man, that's messed up.
That was like an iPhone, man.
Anyway,
which ain't no better, but so.
All right, that's what it says. Prospects can become recruitment ineligible for discipline or academic reasons. Roster players can be suspended for disciplinary or academic reasons. Seasons are now archived, allowing more years in Dynasty. I wonder how many years that is. Archives can be loaded for review. So you can basically, I'm pretty sure like stats will be archived so you can see what they did, like your favorite quarterback did 3 years ago or whatever.
Whoa, hold on. Look at that one at the top.
Which one? The one I missed?
All players have a hidden skill potential. Some players could improve greatly over time, and other players will reach their potential limit quickly. Skills are perishable. You still need to train players that have reached their potential or their skills drop.
That's the training part.
That is huge.
The training part is huge. I would definitely like to see how that section.
What about that though? That's road to the show. You stop focusing on certain things, and your rating will actually drop because. That's crazy. Let me see
the next one started on the off-season training feature in the mode. Okay, allocate earn points to different training categories to improve player skills and ratings. Not enough trading in a category may cause a player rating to drop.
That's crazy.
That makes sense. That's it for the rest of the
That's crazy, man.
That's the only ones I have, but that's huge. All of this is huge. I like this. This is good stuff. I'm probably going to buying this. I'm not gonna lie.
I gotta see how it moves first, how it plays, but off the field.
B5, nobody's playing Doug Williams football in 360, bro. yo, that game was terrible. Y'all remember that game? That game was terrible.
UFC training has that type of thing, so yeah, they do.
They do.
Too bad the game sucks.
Shout out to J Miles, man. I really appreciate that because I didn't know any of that. That's good stuff right there.
Okay, they said we're still looking for a 3D character animator. I need to get that.
Yeah, they need that. That right there would tell you that they can make more animations out of their players. But
they already.
Oh, go ahead.
Now, because we're still referencing Maximum Football, right?
Yeah.
Because they did move it. They did link up with a 3D motion capture studio, so that's where they're.
Okay.
So they have the animations based on the motion capture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully they can get the animation better than Madden's because they.
Yeah, that actually got me pretty interested. I'm actually J Miles said he was the one that disliked the vid. in the chat. But no, I don't have anything else. I mean, that right there just says everything else I need to know about the game. I'm hyped about that. I mean,
so both Axis and Maximum have motion capture. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. That's what's up.
I knew Axis had it. I knew that. And that I'm waiting for the next Axis. I'm already got my mind made up to get that as well. Speaking of picking up a product, let's talk about this Google. How do you pronounce it? Stadia. Stadia,
Oh,
whatever.
shit, garbage. How about that?
I don't like it. I know
I don't
C-Mac.
like it either.
I know C-Mac was talking about it on Twitter, and he was talking about that's something that he was interested in. My thing is, like before we started, me and DJ was talking. Only thing I like the controller; it looks comfortable, but I have no interest into buying and using it. You know, none. DJ, did you look at the reveal?
No, I didn't watch the reveal.
I didn't watch it either.
The fact that they nicknamed themselves, well, not that they nicknamed, I think people are saying they're the Netflix, they're going to be the Netflix of gaming. And the fact that, you know, everything's going to be streamed, they take care of the hardware. You just have to have, the main crutch about this goes deeper than just what they're trying to take advantage of. The fact that your gaming experience is going to be based on how much you can pay for internet is bullshit. Especially here in the United States, we pay the most for the slowest internet in the world.
Yeah, here's my thing though. So they said in Netflix of gaming, does that mean that you'll play 2K one day and the next day it'll be gone because they lost the license?
Right,
exactly.
That's what Netflix is.
Yeah, Netflix has lost a lot of movies and TV shows because of that. You're right.
Like, what are we talking about?
But the low key, we already got the Netflix of gaming with PS Now and Game Pass, especially with PS Now because it's a streaming service for the most part. So
and on top of that, what games, like what type of exclusives are they gonna offer that anybody would want to play? Because they're talking about
they're creating their own. They're creating their own gaming studios.
Yeah, because I know right out the back, Ubisoft is going to be partnering with them to check out games, and they said the first game is going to be they're going to bring out Odyssey for it, and also it's also going to make rampant fraudulent gaming.
Yep.
Because you know how like people in the gaming industry, like gamers, pride themselves on accomplishing goals, these trophies and stuff like that, and beating games. You got apparently the way you can like just snap into a game. I know one person mentioned it seems like you can just instantly jump into the game that you're watching because you just click the link.
And you'll start from right there. So you wait for somebody. So you wait for somebody to beat a certain area that you couldn't beat, and you pop in from there. That's crazy, yo! Like, I couldn't beat this. I couldn't beat this level, so I'm gonna wait till he beat it.
Another thing is, if you can only, if basically,
then it also say it had like some help button on the controller to help you beat a part of the
Oh my god! What are you gonna call a run-in? Oh my god!
Yeah, I heard it had like a help button to help you beat a certain part of the game or something.
Well, here's another thing. Good luck getting on this thing for the first couple of days, because if you're streaming the game, it's gonna be hell.
Not even that. When a new game comes out,
it's gonna be hell, bro.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I like my thing was with Google and all the money that they have. I would have respected more if they said, you know what, we're coming out with a console. You know what I'm saying? If they came out with
If
they came out with a legit, just a regular console, you know that they got just about as money as Microsoft, if not just about. It's like I would be on board with that because I can see Google with all the money that they got and all the influence they got with YouTube. I can see them coming out with the bomb ass console, but with this right here, I don't think I can deal with it. C-Bad said, here's an example. Say this podcast was about 2K NBA. There would be a link in the video stream that I can click and instantly start playing 2K. That sounds cool. But if you're playing 2K at a fucked up frame rate because you're streaming it, and you don't have the internet service, it don't matter.
Because the way they format it on that platform is that you can play from pretty much anywhere. You can play it from your computer. You can play it on so you don't have to worry about the specs of your computer. Like I said, it's based on your internet.
Right.
It's based on how much internet you can pay for.
That concept that he just put out there, I don't have a problem with that at all. Matter of fact, that was something I would be on board with. Like, say say if somebody wanted to use this and they used it in that fashion, I would have a problem with that. But to me, it's either come out with a regular console or you should be able to have a device You need a device where you can download the game and play it. I think that's it. Like that eliminates phones and tablets. I tell you that much. But like, say for instance, if you had like a PC, or like Bills was saying, like it could be a box. And like, look, like if it's something that you want to use the cloud with this high-powered CPU and high-powered, GPU, and you're just using it directly to that box and you're streaming it from that box, if you can stream it and or download, I would have a problem with that.
I already don't like this. I'm reading about this right now. It says, at the heart of Google's Stadia cloud streaming service are YouTube and Chrome. Google is leveraging YouTube to lean heavily on the popularity of gaming clips and creators who regularly stream games to millions of people on services like Twitch. I
mean, I get it. I get it, C-Mad. I get what I get what they're trying to do, Bills. And he's right. It's not for everyone, but who is it actually for? Because with this format, it's going to be for a very select few.
But what they're doing is
that's not fair.
But what they're doing is, okay, I'll give you an example. You ever been thinking about something on Facebook and then you scroll past it, you see an ad for it?
Okay.
Ooh. And it's almost like your phone is reading your mind. This is where they're going with this shit. They're tracking what you're searching. They're tracking your interests. And a fucking Fortnite trailer is going to pop up. Watch Ninja stream. No, fuck that.
No, not
give a damn about Ninja.
Not Ninja stream. Well, like, come on and play the game right now. So you click it. Now you're playing it on your phone. And then all of a sudden, they're trying to get you to buy all these microtransactions.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't like where that's going. They're trying to use YouTubers and streamers to basically encourage people to use this streaming service. And as a result, what it seems like is that they're going to be tracking what you're doing and what you're searching on Google. It's just, I don't know.
Now, I got a question for C-Mad since he has that example up. It says, someone like me, just talking about the Google Stadia, says someone like me, 400 down, 40 up, and I no longer have to purchase a $500 console every 3 to 5 years. My question is, what's going to be the price point of the service, and how much are you paying for your internet to get that?
Because if you think
about
it,
you're right. It's not for everyone, but there's going to be like a select few, and you're going to be playing with basically nobody.
But DJ, think about it though. What if it is like, X amount of dollars a month plus, your internet service? You add those two together, in 3 to 5 years, you might be paying more than $500.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course you will be.
And plus, I'm not paying. Plus, I didn't pay $500 for a console. Whoever got Xbox is the ones that paid $500 twice in a single generation. So that's really,
And Dollar came up with another idea. He said, "What about don't forget about net neutrality." What if that's like? What if that's like?
They're still trying to figure that out. So
what if that's implemented? And on top of that, it'll be. He said he think the service will be free. He won't pay no more than $35. He paid $35 more for a higher speed.
So in total, my internet costs $100 a month.
What they're probably going to end up doing is giving people.
Look though. He
that's
just
$1,200 a year.
Yeah,
you're getting.
But what they're going to end up doing, man,
the speed.
What I see them doing is giving you a trial similar to EA Access, and after that, you're going to have to start paying.
But dog, if you look at the convenience of this, like the convenience, like you could play anywhere. The idea in the convenience is great. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that, like, okay. I'm not most of a mobile gamer. I mean, that's one reason I still don't have a Switch. But I get it where somebody can like, okay, I got a game right here. I can't play it right now. But when I get to my homeboy's house, or if I get to my family member's house, I can just go ahead and finish what I'm playing on my phone. Nobody will know. I don't have to do this, that, and the third. I get it. That whole concept is nice. But what they're talking about, I don't think it's sustainable with the internet connection we all have. Because you got to think about it. Your phone don't have that same internet access that your house do. You know what I'm saying? Like your tablet may not. I mean, we already know they don't. So what if you take that controller somewhere else to somebody else's house and they don't have the high speed internet? It's like, What are we doing? And even if you have that controller, what are you gonna do? Somebody ain't gonna let you hook that shit up to their TV.
They're gonna track you to your friend's house and be like, "Hey, I noticed the residence here has a Google Stadia. Do you want to play 2K?"
No, not only that. They say, "Hey, we realize that you're trying to play Google Stadia at this person's house, and their internet access is not up to par. Would you like them to purchase another internet?" Now they got bills and propositions coming to their house because your punk ass want to play a game at their house.
Google already tracks your location and tells you what you're near. Like, oh, you're near this store, and oh, did you check in at such and such? It's like, bro, this is where it's headed.
Now, see, man, don't think that we're against you. We're just honestly have our concerns. It might work for you. It might work for a lot of people, but it's just from right now on the base service. And we're looking at the masses of people. I don't think this would be sustainable as of right now. I would not be surprised when this comes out and like the first 100,000 people get it and they're talking about they can't connect to a game. I would not be surprised. That's just my take on it. Anything else y'all got on top of this on this topic?
I'm just not interested in it.
The fact that it's only you can only use it by being connected through Chromecast and Android devices initially. So to me, it's like, once again, it just seems like a way to track your activity, because if you have to be signed into your Google account, it's just going to track everything you do.
I mean, C-Matt also said maybe not today, but what about 3 to 5 years? Now, to be honest with you, I'm not going to say 3 to 5. If technology keep moving the way it is, I could probably see this being viable in 15. That's being honest. 15.
See, Dollar just answered my question for me. Or answered that question for me. It'll maybe work for people in Dubai. People with top internet money can buy it. I'm like, 3 to 5 years, I don't see myself paying a whole lot for internet. No, I'm like, when our internet here in the United States catches up with the rest of the world, then I'll think about it.
I really think streaming games will be viable in the next 15 years. I don't see it happening no time soon. 15 at the minimum, because of the way the internet is right now. And you think about where it came from. You just got to think about it. Look in 2004 when the Xbox came out, and that was doing broadband. And that was a big deal, but it's still not as fast as it is now. We're just now getting up to where a lot of people are getting 70, 75 down. That's like the average right now. So it's like, you're talking about something they're trying to stream 4K 60 with 10 teraflops coming through a stream. I'll say that'll be like regular gaming in 15 years. I could see that, honestly. But I don't have anything else. What else y'all want to talk about before we close everything?
Well, the other thing with this console is that they don't have they haven't gotten, obviously, yet many developers to sign up with this, with this console, and it's going to be difficult, it seems like, to even port their games over to the console. I don't know why any developer, like, what are they getting out of it, of putting their games on this console? I just don't see.
I mean, from what I've seen, there's a lot of, I ain't gonna say that, I know there's a lot of companies that actually signed on to this. It's a good, because I saw a picture on from the live stream, or what they had, the reveal. They had probably 20 different companies, gaming companies, that are on board. I think Ubisoft's like the biggest one, though.
Yeah, but it said the biggest. It said they have some significant hurdles to overcome if they want to dominate gaming for the next generation. The biggest among them is getting games on its platform. Google showed a single title, Doom Eternal, running on Stadia, and it promised that more than 100 game studios already have dev kits. But at the same time, they're still having trouble getting major big companies to sign up.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, my thing is, I'm not too concerned with big game companies, because you can also look at this as an avenue where smaller game companies can thrive and actually do something with whatever they put out, on this platform. Like say, for instance, with this, let's not even talk about a AAA game. Let's say if a small company that makes a pretty decent game, let's say a company that got the ambition of like Cuphead or something like that. I don't think it's going to take much to stream that game. But but the way they're talking about going up against PS4 and Xbox One, and they're trying to go up against them. Those big titles, I don't see them getting that type of quality with Extreme, those type of games.
This shit all just seems like a big boost for fucking YouTube, bro.
I agree, but I think this whole concept of what they're trying to do, I think it's 10 years down the road what they're trying to do.
I just don't like what it seemed like their intent is, which is basically favoring streamers.
Well, that obviously. I mean, this could be a big ploy to try to get people off Twitch.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course it is. I mean, YouTube's under their hood, so.
Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to live streaming or whatever, I mean, I think Twitch still like #1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
honestly, who the hell would leave Twitch with all the fucking regulations that YouTube already has? Twitch is starting to catch up to them in regulations and censorship and all that bullshit.
Yeah, YouTube got too much red tape. Yeah, and that's why some people use live stream like we do. But like if we use it to actually like live stream games, it's a lot of stuff you can and can't not do compared to what Twitch can do.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Anything you got, DJ?
Well, I did put it out there about the Division 2.
Yeah.
I know somebody in the chat.
Yeah, give your thoughts about that, because I admit that I couldn't put it in the title because the title was too long. But give people your rundown about Division.
I'm thinking, didn't they speak about it last week?
No, we didn't talk about it last week, did we?
I thought he gave his impressions. Or whatever.
I gave my impressions last week. I was just like so far like. Because my impressions were based on the fact that, what was it? I was, early in the game?
Yeah.
But now I'm a little bit later in the game. I haven't hit the end game. I don't think I'm anywhere near the end game. But I know right now I'm sitting at level 11. And, of course, I have my own clan, NWO Stars, for those that want to join. I know Tadal was interested. He's on Smitty's playlist. I'm like, I'm forming a good roster. So, so we can also take advantage of the opportunities that the game presents us with forming a clan, other ways to gain loot. But the game is starting to open up a bit. Like I'm starting to see, where I can, every time I jump into this game, there's always something happening. There's always something, because every day you jump in, or every session you jump in, something randomly start. Like you can go investigate certain areas to see what's going on. There's always a public execution happening that you try to save hostages. I'm not even just talking about just going through and doing the missions. I'm like just random activities. I know the first division really did that towards the end of that life cycle. But, this game, like today, I jumped in the game just before the podcast, and right out the gate, I'm dealing with an elite enemy type with like 2 henchmen and fighting against other friendly AI, and I had to intervene because if I don't intervene, they're getting taken out by this elite tank, whatever type of character. So it seems like, and then also another thing I did towards the end before I jumped on the podcast was also there was a escort mission, not an escort mission, but an activity that popped up randomly where they were transporting resources from one control point to the next. So I was like, let me just go and escort them, make sure, they don't run into any trouble. And they made it to the other control point with really no issues.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always something going on in the game. So I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. And I think after this podcast, I'm going to jump in the dark zone real quick and get some loot.
I'm gonna have to get that game so we can jump on it. Cause I was like, this close to clicking the button on this Uplay to buy it, and I was like, because I think you got it on PC too, right?
I'm thinking I have it on PC, but it's really not been working out on my PC. I'm about to see if I can get a refund, but I'm strictly on PS4.
I don't have a problem with games playing on PC. It's just I don't like the Uplay. I don't like Uplay, and it's just like my Splinter Cell Conviction just stopped working on that bitch. It just don't work. And I'm like,
on Conviction?
Yeah, it just stopped working. It just would not boot up. And I'm like, I'm done with that. Now I got Conviction on 360. I'll just play it on that shit. But I was just pissed off because I'm halfway done with the game and I can't finish it. So, but I'm
glad I beat that game when it first came out.
Yeah, see, I beat pretty much all of them except for Double Agent and Conviction. Oh no, I'm sorry, Blacklist and Conviction. I haven't beat those 2 yet. And
Blacklist is the only one I have not beaten.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get through it because I've been playing a few games. I've been beating them and getting them out the way because my backlog is knocked down some. And I loaded up and it just says this game it gave me some error message. I was like, you know what, PC problems. I can't deal with it. But I'm gonna probably end up getting it on PS4 and I need to run a few with you, man, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, they did it right, and it's funny on the heels of Anthem.
Well, I'm not even talking about that
the shit show that is Anthem right now.
Hey, did you hear what you call it? The microtransactions in Apex. It's like they finally showed their ass, and everybody's pissed off about season 1.
Mm.
And it's like that game had so much potential, and they fucked it up. Battle Pass season 1 is terrible. People don't even like it.
I kind of could see that coming with Apex because EA didn't really attach themselves to the game at first when it just came out, and then all of a sudden
just a matter of time.
Right, and it's like, let's get all these people on here, and then we're gonna drop it on them.
Right.
Boom. Here we are.
Everybody got to compete with Fortnite, man.
Shoot,
and that's the thing. They didn't have. But see, that's the thing.
Yeah, Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4. All of a sudden, now there's microtransactions and loot
it's the same
grabs in the blackout mode. So it's just
it's like what they do is like before blackout mode. What Black Ops 4 did, they put the game out without the microtransactions. Waited till the reviews came, then put the microtransactions after the reviews came.
Well, Black Ops 4 also screwed people over with those map packs that they're not releasing. They're not even releasing map packs, and the maps that they have released are utter garbage.
Right.
But you have to have the Call of Duty pass, whatever the fuck, to even get them.
And then on top of that, just like what Apex did. Apex came out perfectly. They came out great. They came out with no microtransactions, no all cosmetic microtransactions, and everything was on the up and up as far as the gameplay. Now with this new season 1, it's like people are like, I didn't even look at it, but I just saw a lot of people is like really upset about this battle pass, and then I'm not surprised. It's terrible. They didn't have to do that to that game. That game didn't deserve that because the game was actually decent on those merits. But anyway, I got another what you call it, article. There's another article that I had like last time, but it's not crazy like that one. But this one's more sports related this time, so it's not about an ugly girl or whatever. I want y'all to see this, and before we close it out, and it's football related, so I'm pretty sure y'all can have y'all jokes when y'all see this. I think NY Kia showed this first.
Oh boy,
the Bucks hired 2 female assistant coaches, and they're
full time. I just saw that. Yeah.
Yo, keep them out of the cars.
Because Jameis Winston's going to have a field day, bro.
Man.
They really trying to set this dude up.
Yeah, they're really setting him up. Bruce Arians should have known better, bro.
Crab legs were a gateway drug to this dude's troubles.
Oh, and one of them is a strength and conditioning coach. Oh my!
I bet she is.
I
bet she is.
I'm not touching this.
I bet she is.
Any type of
she gonna condition something, all right.
I just wanted to share that with y'all. Something to leave with.
All right.
Jameis getting some help.
Jameis getting a lot of help, fam. They say women weaken legs, but apparently the Buccaneers don't believe in that theory. So
clearly, anything y'all got before we close? I mean, I think we covered everything. Everything is on the up and up. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah. I was looking for something, but I really don't. This is actually pretty short podcast this week.
Yeah.
NYK just said hiring these female coaches is a matter of time when someone starts smashing. It's gonna happen. I agree.
Bro, I mean,
because it was taking place with the cheerleaders beforehand. So
yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Chris Cooley. Yeah, Chris Cooley, while he was with the Redskins, one cheerleader had to quit because she wound up dating, and now she's married to Chris Cooley.
If you're gonna hire a female coach, she better look like Pat Summitt.
Wow.
That's what she better look
listen,
like.
sometimes that ain't enough, bro. Some dudes don't discriminate, bro.
See.
Am I lying?
You're not lying at all, but damn, I thought that was a foolproof plan, but shit.
Well, I did see this one where this school teacher. I don't know if y'all seen this, but it was a school teacher. Another one of these school teachers getting caught with the kids. And they showed the picture. The picture of this teacher.
Yeah. The teacher that I wish I had back in my day when I was in high school. I could use like that. I can give her.
But not this teacher. They showed the picture of this. No, they showed the picture of this teacher. The person responded to us like somebody should have arrested the student for piping this teacher. I was like, wow. I was like,
look, man, he's trying to get.
It was like he needs to be arrested too. I'm like,
we see some of these teachers, man. Like, man, I tell my wife this because we have this conversation sometimes when we see these teachers, whatever. And I'm like, yo, my French teacher, I swear, her name is King. Every Wednesday, I don't know what it was about her. She had a coat bottle shape, beautiful woman. She used to wear this red dress every Wednesday. I swear, I ain't paying attention to not a goddamn thing on Wednesday in that class because she would turn around and be writing on that board. And when women be writing on the board, their body be shaking. So I was looking, I was about to fall out my chair. Why these teachers like that couldn't be there for us? I mean, I got a report that I could have turned in on that.
Kids like D Wade's son don't got to worry about that. Y'all see that video?
I'm not touching that either.
Oh man, I'm good.
I saw it and I was just like, I know there's gonna be a.
All right,
go ahead.
You know
what though? This is sad, but it's true. Now I remember the first time I saw this kid, I was like, yo, I know he's mad young, but he looks like he got a little sugar in his tank, fam. No, you tripping? He's a kid, and now. This comes out and everybody's like, damn, yeah, you were right, fam.
Yeah, I got a family member that's like that. Ever since he was young, I knew what time it was. And I was like,
hey, man, when your daddy likes his ass ate by Gabrielle Union, that type of shit happens.
Yeah.
All right, this is the first of Framerates.
See, I thought it's funny. I thought we were actually going to make it this week without a moment. And here we are.
Right, Kia, exactly. 8th grade Spanish teacher, Miss Snyder. Yes, sir. She wore fishnet.
What kind of Spanish teacher's name, Miss Snyder?
No. First of all, she wore fishnet stockings and heels. Nah, man. No, I believe you, but I don't believe you.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me your 8th grade Spanish teacher was showing up looking like a whole thought. Her name was Miss Snyder, and she taught Spanish, and nobody thought anything was wrong with this.
Hey, listen, there ain't nothing wrong with it if she come to class like that. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Damn, there's plenty wrong with that.
Oh, I disagree.
She's fucking them kids.
Hey, listen, I want my 8.
Hey, listen,
man. All I know if any one of the teachers was built like the woman that I shared in the DMs.
Oh God.
I was not cutting class.
Here you go.
Now hold on. Now we can't leave this podcast without me asking this question. Okay, so let's say that happens to KB3. How you gonna react?
Hey, what happened to him?
A teacher and him having relations, man.
It depends on how old he is. If he's like 17, he's a senior in high school.
What?
I ain't gonna lie.
Wait. Hold on. You said now. This may be a dumb moment for me, but who is KB3?
That's my son, dog.
Okay.
If he's 17, anything lower than that,
if he's 7,
no, if he's 17 at the time it happened, if he's 17 at the time it happened, I'm not really going to trip. But anything younger than that, I'm throwing.
And then what's going to happen is that when it happens. And they have reference to what his father was thinking.
They're going to find a podcast on March 20th of 2019.
Man, let's get up on it.
With virtual
A-OK, he has the green light.
You might look, he's 17 now. Do what you got to do, son.
I agree.
You go straight to the principal's office, high-fiving him and shit. They're going to be like, sir, you should be disappointed in your son. Fuck that.
Listen, I'm gonna be in the principal office with shades on.
Oh man. All right. This has been the first. Now that's when you should say this has been the first Framerates podcast.
J-Ma, she does listen, but I'm dead serious. Like she may disagree, but if he's 17 and that happens, I more likely I won't say anything. But if he's under 17,
like a 50-year-old MILF, fam.
If he's 17, I probably won't say anything.
Oh my god.
Hey, if he's 17, I'm not. Seriously, but if he's under that,
you old enough to be somebody's grandmother, you need to stay away from these damn kids.
I will tell them that. I mean, like, listen, don't be messing.
Some of these teachers be like 24. They be close to the age range of these seniors.
Yeah, like, listen, don't be messing with the old bitches. You know, don't.
The old bitches? Why they gotta be bitches? Jeez. All right,
wow,
man. All right, now you sound like
this is First and Framerates episode 59. We talked about.
We're trying to bail out now.
We talked about using sliders. We talked about maximum football.
Wait, did you say eating sliders? What?
No, we talked about.
Man, VF, no. See,
is that what they call it now?
VF's trying to bail. VF's trying to bail himself out, trying to read the topics everybody can read at the top of the damn title. We know what we did and talk about.
This is for the people who listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes who not looking at.
Look. This is what we talked about. We talked about VF's son getting violated, and because he's 17, it's okay.
It's not a violation. 17, you pay.
It's not a violation.
It's not a violation of 17. What if the legal age of consent is
violation?
18?
VF.
What is the age?
It's an ethics violation.
What if the legal age of consent is 18?
That's on the lady. That's on the lady.
What?
If it's an ethics violation, that's on her. It's not on him.
No, and then KB3 make her pregnant. There's gonna be a KB4 in the family now.
He's gonna learn a long time. He's gonna learn way before then to wrap it up.
I think we need to wrap the podcast up before we don't have.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing.
All right, man. Seriously, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
We lost all our sponsors. The viewership went down.
They're pulling posters down off the wall.
Oh man. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, man. It's episode 59. Myself, VF Baller. This is DJ81 and Bill's alongside of me. We do this every Wednesday. We talk about sports and sports gaming. You can also check them out on Twitter. Bills is Bills 4th, DJ is DJ81, myself is VF Baller. Also, iTunes, SoundCloud, you can search us in those search engines on those apps. You can subscribe to those as well. It helps us out to get more exposure. Also, episode 60, we're gonna have a good bit of information coming out on a certain football game or lack of football game. Hope you guys come around to check that out. Dollar Jr. will be coming in.
And they can show up too.
Yeah, exactly. They can show up too and explain themselves, but Dollar Jr. will be in the building to talk
bring
about
the bean pies.
And and another note, that podcast will be on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So it will be on the 26th of March instead of the 27th. It won't be on Wednesday. It'll be on Tuesday due to time constraints with Dollar's schedule. He will be on the podcast to let us know some info about IMV Gaming. With that being said, I don't have anything else. I'm going to pass it on to Bills. What you got?
Man, watch your kids, man, because there's parents like VF out here. That's all I got to say.
Hold on. What that got to do with kids, bro? That has nothing to do. What I stated had nothing to do with any other kid. If my son decides to have a relationship,
I'm telling them not to be parents like you. All right.
No, if your son is 17 or older and decide to have relations with someone,
if my son is being molested, no matter if it's consensual or not, he is not.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
at a point where you don't believe.
You have to have a discussion. I don't believe at 17.
He can't even sign his own contract.
I don't believe
it. So I can't.
I don't believe at 17 you're getting molested. I don't believe that. I truly do not believe
what?
That.
We're gonna have to have a discussion.
No, at 17.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
If you decide to get with a woman that's older than you and you're 17, I don't see that as getting molested. I don't see it.
Look, man.
Statutory rape?
I don't.
Well, like I said,
that's what it is legally, VF.
No,
not in every place. I mean, some places the legal age is 16.
Thank you, Bill. The age
I don't know why I'm helping them right now, but
in some states, in most states, I know in this state, the age of consent is 16. That's why I said
because it's a package state. But anyway,
That's why I said if it's 16 or under, I'm gonna have a problem with that. The 17, I don't.
You know how they are down south. As soon as your titties start sprouting, you know how they are down south. So I mean, come on, bro. That's not exactly the way to face.
Anyway, DJ, what you got, man? What you got?
Okay, I have two things. One, since the podcast is going to be on Tuesday next week, you guys can help me celebrate my birthday, which will be the day before. I turned 39, and 39 years, approaching 40 has been good to me. So
39 years old, he'll still cook your favorite cornerback, fam. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, that's the funny part. I will still cook whoever is a DB, especially a certain shutdown safety.
Oh, Lord.
The reason why he's retired probably is because of me. But
see, we were gonna make it a whole episode, man. Well, no, we weren't, because we started the episode. Never mind. Carry on.
And the
I forgot we did
damn. I forgot what the second thing was supposed to be. I had it all lined up and ready to go. See, this is what happens when you get old. You pretty much forget things on a whim. So I had something. I forgot what it was. Damn. Goddamn 39-year-old DJ.
Hey, man.
Okay. This is what it was. Okay. I'm going to put this out there because it was lit on Twitter the last 2 days. The Electoral College is good for America. Changed my mind.
Yeah, you can find him on DJ 81 for that. No, but that's it, man. We're good, man. You guys be good. Definitely subscribe and follow us on those apps and on this channel. We really would appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.
Peace. Electoral College.